This time we will look at Galen Rupp as he ran the marathon in 2 hours and 10 minutes during the 2016 Rio Olympics. Now typically, I just go over the mechanics, but some of you have been curious about his running mechanics and how this may have contributed to his Achilles pain on the left foot, which ultimately led to him getting surgery 2 years later for Haglund's deformity to basically decrease stress on the left Achilles tendon. So this time, I will also include my thoughts on his running mechanics and putting it into perspective with the injury. Now, what a lot of you were looking at was his foot strike. It was hard to get the exact moment of foot strike due to limitations in frame rate, but he presents with more of a mid to forefoot strike. This is a bit different than what is most commonly seen in elite distance runners, as it is actually more common to see more of a rear foot landing. Now, landing closer to the forefoot area puts less stress on the knee, but distributes it more on the calf and Achilles tendon. Now, if he did have Achilles pain as he ran during this clip, he could actually try landing more around the rear foot area to decrease stress on the area and may help relieve some of the pain. However, will I say that this is a predictor for injury? There is really no consistent research to support that certain foot strikes increase risk of injury. However, it may predict what kind of injuries may be sustained if one were to occur. For predicting risk of injury, it is much more of a gray area, but I typically look at running history as the biggest predictor would be if they sustained a previous injury in the area before. I also take a look at running frequency and intensity, as many running related injuries are a case of too much too soon, which is basically doing a lot of work without adequate recovery. What I will say though is that it is important to also understand the context of the runner, as different variables may matter more when looking at a recreational runner versus an elite runner. I believe that the body can adapt to forces placed on it given the appropriate intensity and recovery. However, for elites, they are typically pushing the body to the limits to perform, so optimizing their running mechanics may be important to help the structures endure the high loads placed on them at this level. I talked quite a bit about that, but I think that is an important discussion to have. I can actually go into a lot more detail on this, but it may be a bit much for one video. If there is anything else you guys want to discuss or any questions you may have, please feel free to leave a comment below. And that's all for this quick breakdown.